All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for taking your time, out of your busy time to. Uh, Grand rules, please. Please, if we can mute our mic, please, I'll really appreciate that. At the end of the sessions, everybody will have an opportunity to ask questions. So please, if we can mute our mic. All right. So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride has been going strong for the last 4 years. Learn with Pride has been going strong for the last 4 years, and we help people that want to transition from non-technical. Can we please mute our mic, please? Can we mute our mic, please? So what we do is we help people that wants to transition from either non-technical or non-IT into the IT space. So we run different courses ranging from project management, business analysis, software automation testing, data analysis, DevOps engineer, Scrum Master, product owner, business analysis. Those are the courses we run, and what makes us different is because we focus more on practical training and working on a live project. And that is what set us apart, so to say. So we don't focus too much on theoretical aspect, and we don't teach. The training is not designed if you want to go and take a certification exam. The reason being that it can still be useful, but we believe that the experience and the practical is much more important than the certification. If you have the certification and you don't have the experience or the knowledge, you are not going to get the job. But if you have the knowledge and experience without certification, you can still be employed. And we've seen that many times. And that is why we don't preach certificate when it comes to professional certificates. We believe more in getting your hands dirty, know the job, know the trades, and go and defend what you know at the interview. And you'll be surprised that you'll be employed. So since after COVID, it has made the IT industry really booming, in the sense that companies now realize that you don't need to come to the office before you can, deliver your work, before you can be productive. That is why remote working is really, really on the high demand now. You can live in Nigeria and secure a role in Australia. You can live in Ghana and secure a role, excuse me, and secure a role in the UK. You can live in the UK and secure a role in the US. So the location doesn't matter when it comes to IT jobs now, because they believe working remotely, you are even more productive than you coming to the office. So that is why anywhere, any part of the world that you are employable. But before you can be employable, you need to acquire the necessary skill, which is very, very important. Without the skill or the knowledge, then you can only be wishing. It's like you don't play a lottery and you wish and someone won 50 billion and you're wishing, I didn't I played that lottery, I could have won as well. Probably I could have won, but you never win, but you never played. So that means you have to be in it to win it. Same thing goes to all these courses as well. If you don't acquire the right knowledge and experience, you can only wish that, oh, I'd wish I took up the training last 2 months, last 3 months. Probably I'll be in a better situation now. So that is why, you know, if we want to act, we should act now. We should act fast, because we need to unlearn so that we can relearn. And we are here. It's not about the practical training for us or working on a project for us. No, it goes beyond that. We form a community. We become a family. You be part of a forum whereby like-minded people are there as well. You have people to go to. We help you. We support you. We mentor you. We hold you by hand till you get to that destination. We just don't leave you hanging. And that is why we are different. So that is a bit about what we do. My background, a bit about myself. My background was in accounting. I've got masters in accounting as well, but I transitioned as well, from non-technical to technical. So what I do now is I'm a software automation engineer. I write, script in programming language like C Sharp. This is someone that my background was in accounting. I had no technical knowledge whatsoever, but I was hungry for that change as well. I wanted a change by all means. And I took similar training back then as well, probably like a 3-month training as well. Despite the fact that the support wasn't there for me, but because I wanted it badly, I had to sacrifice so many things. Like, in the middle, I have to go to work. I don't have the time. Probably the only time I have is when I have to sleep. So I have to sacrifice my sleep just for me to learn. And it's all a story today. This is someone that with no technical knowledge, and accounting background. But now I'm into a technical space, writing script in programming language like C Sharp. And I'm not only doing the job, I'm training other people as well to become like me. So it is possible for you to achieve your dream. It is not a must for you to have a knowledge in the area you want to go to. That is why we are here. What we need from you is your determination. What we need from you is your hunger for change. Because of my own experience, I know what it takes to take someone with no knowledge from point A to point B. And that cut across all our courses as well. So I have a few slides to share with you, and after my slide, I'm going to call on the facilitator that will be taking you on the journey. It's a 4-month journey to share more lights into the advantages, the benefits of becoming a data analyst in today's world. And after his presentation, if you have questions, you can raise your hand in the chat, and excuse me, I'll be calling on people who raise their hand, or you can drop your questions on the chat as well. I'll be reading them out. So quickly, let me go through my slide. I'll be skipping through some points like this. I'll leave it to Samuel to talk more about that. But why a data analyst? It's one of the highest paid in the industry now. The average, I'll be using UK as a benchmark because that is where I am, and it doesn't matter whether you live in Nigeria, UK, Ghana. It is still, you still get paid as in real world. But I'm just using UK as a benchmark for today's session. The average salary in the UK for a data analyst is around 65,000. That is a lot of money. And the way we equip you at the end of the 4 months, it's not for you to start applying for job as an intern. No, you'll be competing with those who has been doing it in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years. That is why your input at the end of the day must equals to your output. How do I mean by input? Your input is the amount of hours that you put into the process, your dedication that you put into the process. That is what you're going to get out of it. This journey is a 50-50 journey. We do our own 50%, and you have to do your own 50% as well. And at the end of the day, everyone will be happy. This is not a one-sided job. We both have roles to play in this process. We are going to play our role, but you need to ensure that you play your own role as well. This is not a Sunday medicine kind of, if you are seeking a career change, it's not a Sunday medicine. You can't say, oh, it's only Sunday, I want to pick this thing up. It will not work. This has to be an everyday journey. This is an area you don't know anything about. You don't only want to know, you want to know it to the standard that you can compete with people. That means it has to be an everyday process for you, because it's from the issues, the challenges that you are having that you are going to learn. When you face with challenges or issues and you seek for help, for support, the process of resolving that issue for you, that is when you are actually learning. When such happens another time, you know how to fix it. And that forms the story that you tell them at the interview. That is why it has to be an everyday journey for 4 months. Also in the UK, it's one of the shortage of skilled worker in the UK as well. So that means if you are, excuse me, sorry, if you are probably in Nigeria, in Ghana, you're considering probably in the near future, you want to relocate and you're applying for jobs, and you see a company that can sponsor you, they like you, they can sponsor your visa, they can give you a sponsorship visa to come to the UK as well. But that being said, it's not only for those that wants to relocate. Even if for those that don't want to relocate, you can equally get a remote job and they will be paying you in dollars as well. That is the benefit of it. Because these days people wants to work remotely, just for you to have the freedom. Probably you want to do school runs, or you want to do you have your personal time, but that means that you're still doing your job. But many people are looking for remote jobs these days, especially in IT. Again, I've said this one, you can work remotely from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you live. UK, you can work for company in the US. You live in Nigeria, you can work for company in the States. You live in Ghana, you can work for company in Switzerland. It's in high demand. So it's all left to you to take the bull by the horn. You have to do your own bit. Doing your own bit is you acquiring the knowledge, and you'll be surprised, you'll be shocked with the amount of, or with the ways the recruiters will be reaching out to you after you've done what you're supposed to do, of course. All right, so quickly, if you intend to probably come on this 4 months journey with us, what will be the roadmap? What does it look like? So this is what the journey looks like. Let's go through that one by one. The training. So the training is a 4 month practical training, right? And I must say this, all our courses as well are accredited, meaning that it is recognizable in over 60 countries. It can go on your LinkedIn page, it can go on your CV. We are accredited by this body. Let me quickly show you. We are accredited by this body called CPD Standard Office. And this is also, you can read more about, let me copy that to the chat. You can read more about this body. So after you are done with us, you'll be issued with a CPD accredited certificate, which is recognizable in over 60 countries, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in the UK, in the US, Australia, Switzerland, over 60 countries, it is recognizable. And as I said, you'll be given a certificate with this body that's got this body's logo, as in, let me even see what I've got. Yeah, it looks like this. So this is the certificate. You can see CPD accredited certificate that you'll be getting at the end of the course. All right, so let's go back to the slide. So the training is for 4 months, practical training, and 4 industry standard tools will be used as well. We are talking about Power BI, Tableau, Python, SQL. So each tool will focus on, each month will focus on one tool. So if you are doing Power BI first, Power BI will focus, 1 month will be dedicated for Power BI. And at the end of that month, you'll be engaged or involved in a project that you have to do using that tool. So that means at the end of your 4 months journey, you have like four different projects that you can showcase in your portfolios to the recruiters, to show that you've actually done the work before. If you have time at your disposal, you can have more than 4 projects. You can do more. You can be involved in more than 4 projects, but at least the minimum, you have 4 different projects in your portfolio that you can showcase to the recruiters when you are asked. You'll be taught in-demand skills of data analysis in an easy to understand way. And the tutor that will be taking you on the journey has been doing it for many years, is got many years of experience when it comes to data analysis, and is always ready to learn, ready to help, ready to support. And even outside the training, you can still reach out to him if you are stuck with anything. That's the type of support that we render. We just don't leave you hanging, or we wait for another session before you can resolve your issue. No. And also, the training will be twice a week for 4 months, 2 hours per session, twice a week for 4 months. Yeah, so that is that about the training. After the training is done, or alongside the training, as you are finishing with 1, 2, you'll be involved on a project based on that too. And as I said, at the end of that 4 months, you can showcase in your portfolio. And also the way to build your portfolio as well will be, is going to show you how to build your portfolio. And at the end of that 4 months, you have 4 different projects minimum in that portfolio. If you are doing your own 50%, that you can showcase to recruiters that you have worked on. All right. So after that comes the optimization of your brand. Now that you've gone through the training, you've been involved on the project as well, then it is time for you to put yourself out there. But before you can put yourself out there, your CV needs to be revamped to the standard, to the international standard, acceptable standard. Also, your LinkedIn as well needs to be optimized if they are not optimized. But if you have a good CV and your LinkedIn is optimized, then that is not a problem at all. But if not, this is very, very important, because if you are not visible in the market, you won't be getting the calls. And if you're not getting the calls, nobody will call you for interviews. That is why this stage is very, very, very important. I cannot overemphasize how important this particular stage is, optimization of your brand, because your CV will speak for you. Your LinkedIn profile will speak, will speak for you. And that is when recruiters will start reaching out to you to schedule interviews, calls, and all of that. Also, your CV has to be uploaded on different job sites, make them searchable so that you can be visible when recruiters are searching for people, So this stage is very important. We don't do CV, we do CV review, but when it comes to revamping and optimization, we don't do it. But we partner with one of the best that we can introduce you to when the time comes, that will help you with that aspect. So after the optimization of brand, then comes you applying for jobs, sending your CVs out, applying manually. But as you're applying manually as well, because you're now visible, recruiters can see you and they can reach out to you even without you applying, because not all roles you can see online. Some roles are not online. That recruiters will just go online to scout for CVs, and call people, and if you are capable, if you've got the skills, experience on your CV and the tools on your CVs, surely you'll be visible, they will see you, and you'll be receiving calls as well. So that is that. Then come the interview stage. After you secure one interview, we don't leave you hanging here as well. We support you with interview preparation, because the joy of it all is for you to get a job at the end of the program. So anything we can do for you to ace that interview, the first time, we support you with everything, interview preparation, or anything you want to know before your interview, we'll be there for you as well. Just before I conclude with my own presentation, these are just the sample of jobs. Again, I'm using UK as my benchmark. In the UK, the first one on your left is a permanent role paying between 60K and 80K. You'll be wondering that Is it possible for someone who just acquired a 4-month journey, a 4-month experience or knowledge to actually get this kind of a role? Yes, it is possible. One of my students, because I facilitate as well, I facilitate my own course, which is software automation engineer. One of my students started a role in February. You know, he has been applying, I think, since October last year, you know, getting rejection, getting rejection, getting rejection. But this very particular one, he applied. They asked him, okay, he did the interview. They asked him, how much do you want to collect as a salary or your annual salary? The guy just mentioned, okay, between 40 and 45. He doesn't want to overshoot it, so they won't say, okay, no to him. I said, okay. And when they got back to him, they said they really liked him. Remember, this is a guy that has been getting no's since October last year. You know, he's been going for interviews, he's been getting no's at that interview and all of that. But this particular one, they told him, you know, he told them between 40 and 45K. And when they came back to him, they said, you know what, we really liked you and we'd like to offer you your starting salary is going to be £62,000. And after the benefits, everything is around 75,000. This was someone that only did a 3-month training with me. He finished September last year, started applying for a job, I think, from October last year. It was only 3 months training he did with me, although that 3-month training involves project as well. But it's been getting no's. As long as you don't allow the no's to weigh you down or to put you down, it's just a way, the no's is just a way to prepare you for the one that will say yes to you. It was like a dream to him. He couldn't believe, like, someone should pinch him. Is this actually happening to me? But yes, it's actually happening to him. He's on 75,000 per annum. This was someone that was his previous role before transitioning. He was getting 35,000. Now he's getting double of what he was earning before. But he can only put himself in that situation, in that position. Why? Because of experience, because of acquiring the necessary skill that he can use to boast or talk about when he goes for interview. You know? So that is why I know that when you see figures like this, don't let them scare you away. You can get it as well, but you need to put in the work. The second one on your right is paying 50,000 a year. Let's see another one. All right, this one on the left is paying 45,000 a year, and the other one on the right hand side is paying between 45 and 55,000 per annum. Again, excuse me, these are all roles that you can be eligible to be applying for after the training. Even if you don't want to do a permanent role, there are sites that you can, if you want to do contracts that you only want to work 2 months, 3 months, you don't want to work permanent for anybody, you just want to be like a consultant, you can do that as well. In the UK, the average of that in the UK is around 400, 500 pounds per day. You know, it might be a 3-month contract, it might be a 4-month contract, but imagine you getting 500 pounds per day. 500 in a month, that is you getting 10,000 pounds in a month. So even if the contract is 3 months, in 3 months, you've already gotten 30,000 pounds per annum. That is what some people are getting in a year. And you already took that home in 3 months. These things are happening. But if you don't know, you don't know, you know. You might be seeing some people, and that happened to me as well when I first got to this country, you know. I'll be seeing people, young guys, you know, riding good cars, living big, you know. The mentality, my mentality was just, you know, these are Yahoo guys, you know. They are doing 419 and all of that. My eyes wasn't open then, but when my eyes open and that I can actually see that people are making a legit money when it comes to working 9 to 5. Some people are on 700 pounds a day. If you're on 7 pounds a day, why won't you live a good life? Why won't you live large? 700 pounds per day, that is like 14,000 pounds per annum, per month, you know? and you can be on that contract for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. Imagine getting that money. Why won't you ride a good car? You know, but to many people that don't know you out there, they will think, oh, this guy is a Yahoo guy, you know, not knowing that you are working in IT and you are getting good money. You know, that is the kind of breakthrough working in IT can bring your way. But you wouldn't know until you are in that sector as well. So if you want to go ahead with us tonight, the cost is actually $599 for that 4 months. But if you are enrolling tonight, this is actually starting next week, Thursday. If you are enrolling between now and next week, Wednesday, you get 40% discount off from this amount. 40% discount off, and even the remaining, it's not due once. You can pay twice. It is only half after that 40% that is due to that is required for you to pay to start on the journey, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks of you starting on the course. So I believe with the quality of what we offer, with the support, and quickly, probably let me mention what the package entails. The package entails your practical training, working on the project, the mentorship, the support, the interview preparation, CPD accredited certificates, and a UK reference. I'm going to give you a reference for the duration that you are with us, because it's like you are working. So I'm going to give you a reference, a UK reference for that duration that you are with us. Those are the package that you are getting. I don't think out there, with the quality of the service that we are offering, you can get a better offer, to the extent that they'll ask you to come and pay. You know, you have the opportunity to even pay twice, you know. So this is the offer I have for you. For people that wants to enroll between now and next week, Wednesday, this is starting on Thursday. The training days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. Although the time is changing, I think in 2 weeks' time. So we'll be the same time. We'll be in the same time with Nigeria as well. But it's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time, Tuesdays and Thursdays for 4 months. It's a 4-month program. So yes, if you are interested, or you have any question you want to ask, probably after the session and all of that, you can copy this number down and chat me up. You know, I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions or to provide solutions to anything that you might want. So you can copy that number down and probably message me. Also, if you want to enroll as well, you can as well message on that number, or you can go to our Instagram page at Learn with Pride, send a message, and we'll reply back to that as well. So for now, for the time being, I'll be hanging my boots. I'll be calling on Samuel, who is a facilitator that will be taking you on the journey to share more light to the life of a data analyst. You know, what is involved? What do I need to know? Do I need to be techie, you know, to be a data analyst? Or I can be novice and still come on this journey and, you know, become something at the end of the day. So without further ado, I'll call on, and after he has done with his presentation, you can raise your hand. I'll be calling if you have any questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer your question. So without further ado, I'll call on Samuel to take over from here, and you can share your screen. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Samuel.
So first, I would like to say welcome to the class. All right. So as you all know, this is an introductory section in becoming a data analyst. Now, the first thing we have to understand is what data is, because without data, there won't be anything like data analysis. This is according to the CEO of LinkedIn. He says data powers everything that we do. And I believe we all will agree to that. Starting from our day-to-day activity, our personal activity, down to companies around the world, everything is being gathered by data. Companies around the globe generate volumes of data daily in form of log files, web servers, transactional data, and different various customer-related data. We have a social media website also that generate different enormous amount of data daily. So all of these data are required, and we need to analyze them in a way that we explore the data, bring out the hidden patterns, the unseen trends, the correlations, the regressions, in order to predict, in order to forecast, to solve different business problems. So the main thing is this: as a data analyst, your job is to work on data to solve a business problem. And one thing is this: trust me, this is one good thing about being data analyst. You can never be out of job. I've been on this journey for 6 years. I've worked in different industry. I've worked with Airtel Nigeria as a data analyst. I've worked with an insurance firm as an actuary, that's a data analyst, where we work on different insurance data. Currently, I work with an agricultural firm, an international agricultural firm, where we use data analysis to reduce the post-harvest risks. Now, what is data analysis? In a nutshell, data analysis is the process of cleaning, changing, and processing raw data, extracting out actionable and relevant information to help business make informed decisions. So in general, for you to do any data analysis, there are ways into every data analysis project. The first thing at the back of your mind is to improve decision making. So as a data analyst, you are at that core center of any business decision. You'll be helping any company that you're working with to make proper decisions, to make better customer service, to make to improve the operations, effective marketing. And now this is a chart from Google to know this day that we've been seeing different news online that people are being laid off, different tech jobs, tech companies laying off their staffs. Now this is a search just this evening, asking is data analysis still in demand? And you can see what was the return info. Transitioning to a career in data analytics can mean stable employment in a high-paying industry once you have the right skills. Every year there's more demand for data analysts and scientists than there are people with the right skills to fill these roles. So this is telling us is that there are jobs, the jobs are there. You will never go out of jobs as a data analyst. The jobs are there. The only thing that are not available is the right skills. Once you have the right skill set, it's easy for you to actually pick up. You can we try our mic, please? Hello, yeah, thank you. So it's easy for anyone to pick up a good paying job as a data analyst, because every company needs your help to improve their decision making process, to help make better customer service, improve the operations, effective marketing. And you know, these are all the key things that improve a business. The main idea around starting any business is to make profits. Without a proper decision, without an effective operations, without an effective operations, without an effective marketing, all of these would alter the profitability of any business. So coming into the timeline of a data analyst, once you have the right skill and you are ready to pick up any job, Now, this is a review from the World Economic Forum. Just last year review is always yearly, and this was for 2022. It was released December 2022. The From the report, you could see that data analysts and scientists are labeled as one of the top emerging jobs, followed by artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists and big data specialists. And one thing that joins all of this together is what? Data. Every of these role, in one way or the other, are related in what? Decision making of the company, interpreting results, understanding the problem, data collection, data exploration and analysis, data cleaning, and even web scraping. All of these processes are interwoven. Once you have the right skill and you understand it perfectly, it makes it easier for you to pick up a good job as a data analyst. Now, back to our training in Learn with Pride. We have designed this training is a well-structured 4 months training program for you to actually get the right skill and end up picking up your first job as a data analyst. And at the end of the training, you would have gotten all knowledge area in understanding the business problem, how to define a well objective to solve any business problem, how to collect data, how to do data cleaning, changing the format, improving the formatting cells, removing the non-data, change practical data cleaning process, updating it. Because one thing that you should know is this: for any data that you'll be working on, even from learning stage down to you working as a data analyst in any company, every data you're working on they will be unclean, and it will be part of your job as a data analyst to know how to clean this data to make it more orderly, more structured, and more suitable for performing the data analysis. And one other thing is the data exploration and the final analysis process, exploring the data, bringing out the relationship between different features and variables, making different regression processing, linear regressions or multiple regressions, to be able to predict a good financial data. Now, just like I said earlier, the training itself is a 4 month training, which will introduce you to the world of data analysis. You will go through the entire data analysis process, which are basically listed out here, but in all, when we talk about the data analysis process, we're talking about the understanding the problem, the data collection, data cleaning, and final page, which is the data exploration and data analysis. Now, our curriculum, you'll be guided on using the 4 major tools of data analysis. Although we have more than this tool as a data analyst, we have Python, we have R, we have Tableau, we have Power BI, we have ClickSense, we have Spark, we have SAS. But in general, this 4 data analysis tool is 100% sufficient for you to pick up your role in any of the industry that you see yourself as a data analyst. So you'll be learning how to work with Power BI, starting from the transformation process, transforming your data, down to modeling of the data. Because every data that you'll be working on will require one model or the other. And when we are talking about modeling data analysis, we're practically talking about how to create relationships, create patterns in different data sets. Then another tool we'll be working on will be the Tableau. Tableau on its own is another data visualization tool. And trust me, it's one of the most used tool currently. The likes of Amazon's, Twitter makes use of Tableau as their core data visualization tool. During my time with Hector Nigeria, most of my job was using SQL and Tableau. I do my data cleaning, data exploration through the SQL, then I work with, I do my data visualization directly using my Tableau. Then we have the SQL. Now, at this point in time, data analysis has gone beyond just understanding how to analyze data on spreadsheets, which is Excel. It has gone into managing database itself, managing database, improving databases, bringing out database. Companies now store their data, their large files on database. So one of the good thing about coming into the training will be for you to understand the process of how to build a perfect database and how to work around any database that you come across. Then we have the Python. Python, just like you know, it's a programming tool which is very efficient. One of the main things that Python is used for is data analysis and machine learning. We use Python to do data analysis and also go ahead to turn that analysis model into a predictive model that we can use as a predictive analysis tool. Then one good thing about the training here is this: for the O2, which we'll be using each of the months. At the end of the month, we'll be taking into consideration a perfect business project, a capstone project that will focus on a real business scenario where you'll be working with a real life data. You get to understand how to generate massive data by organization, how to explore every opportunity sense on data, how to derive meaningful insights and improve answer to questions, do test hypotheses, how to disprove theories, and how to even forecast. Forecasting is one other key thing in data analysis. Now, when using the Power BI, these are the few things that you'll be learning. You understand how to connect your data. Power BI is a tool that is built on Excel. It's built on Excel. It's one tool that is similar to Excel, but unlike Excel, it allows us to connect to more data sources. We can use Power BI to explore database data. We can use data source to explore JSON and some other core data analysis file. Also, we learn how to transform data, transforming data from one source to the other. We understand how to create our models, which I said it's showing relationship between one data to the other. We have different kind of models. In our models, we talk about the joins, we talk about the relationship, talked about data blending. And all of these scenarios are something that we can even relate to our day-to-day activity and things that we do. For example, if I'm talking about unions, for example, or joins right here. When we're talking about joins, it's more of showing the relationship between your nuclear family. So when we relate it to data, joins simply means connecting data of the same data source. Collecting data of the same source, that's joint. Then we have relationship, that's another data model technique. And in this, when we talk about relationship, we are looking into connecting with your extended family. So bringing it back to data tab, that's connecting to what? Data of different sources. Just like, let's say we are connecting Excel file, an Excel file to a CSV file, or we are trying to connect a PDF file to a JSON file. That's relationship. Then we have another term in data model, which we call the data blending. When we try to relate data blending to our day-to-day activity, we talk about connection between someone that we are not related to by blood or by anything. Now, a good example of data blending connection is what we are having here currently. We are connected through a common goal, which is what? This true learn with pride data analysis training. So in a data sense or in data world, what we are having here is data blending. We'll still understand how to build visualization, because at every end of any analysis, the final goal is to be able to put your insight into perfect visualization that will be understandable by every of the team member. Let's assume you have to work with a sales team. So at the end of the day, you have to understand how to perfectly relate your insight and your findings in the visualization that will key into the core output of any sales team. Then you get to understand how to share your insight with other organizations. Now on Tableau, just like I said, it's another data visualization tool, like Power BI. You understand how to connect sources to Tableau, clean and transform data as well, do data combination, combining your data from one source to the other, forming a bigger data. Let's say you are working on a sales in a sales file that is always updating a continuous data. So in this case, you have to understand how to make your perfect combination in such a way that at every point that the data is being uploaded on the database, you as a data analyst would have built a model that would return a perfect insight on the data, presenting your data using stories, and finally creating and modifying worksheets. Now for SQL, just like I said earlier, you understand how to maneuver and how to work around any database, either the structured database or the unstructured database. But mostly, most companies make use of the structured database because the files comes in form of tables and columns, rows and columns rather. It comes in form of tables, which is the structured data. Data from the site, maybe a social media site, is an example of an unstructured data. It will come scattered. It won't come as a table. Now you get there to understand how to use different SQL proficient tools like group by, join, subqueries. All of these tools are needed. These are the things you'll be using every now and then. These are the things we use regularly as a data analyst. You can't do any project without using most of these things. You have to use it. And one thing that you should understand is data analysis is not limited to one industry. You can do data analysis in banking and e-commerce industry to detect fraudulent transactions through different queries. If you are working as a data analyst in a banking or e-commerce industry, your major role will be to use data analysis to detect fraudulent transactions, call in queries that would bring in the views. In healthcare, you can in healthcare sector, we use data analysis to improve patient health by detecting diseases before they happen. So in this case, majority of the thing you'll be doing will be what? Forecasting. And one good thing about the training is this: we'll be looking into every scenario. At the end of the day, once you are done with the training and you get yourself a job, you will not be out of place. You understand how to really get to solve that problem that is facing that industry. In logistic company, for example, data analysis can ensure faster delivery of products by optimizing the vehicle routes. In marketing professions, we use data analysis to reach out to the right customers and to perform targeted marketing to increase what? ROI. We can use data analysis to predict or to improve city planning and to even build smart cities. That's for data analysis in government. So at the end of the training, you would have get the understanding around this SQL to making relevant theoretical concepts to improve any business intelligence job. Then on Python, just like I said, Python is a programming language, but then it can do so many things, web designing and some other programming core jobs. But one key thing that we use data analysis, that we use Python for is what? Data analysis. Through the help of Jupyter Notebook, it will be easier for us to explore our data, bringing them in as a data frame. Why once we import in pandas would allow us to view our data as a data frame. Through that, we can easily do different cleaning process, remove nonce from data. We can see our statistical theoretical data. We can easily do decay regressions, do different regression processes, and do different statistical analysis through Python. We understand how to define our functions, how to define lambda functions, how to do the if conditions, while loop, for loops. These are all the things you'll be learning in Python. You understand how to create a simple flow control and language features. You would understand how to read and write your files, because for every every time that you'll be working on files, you'll be given a file to work on. The first thing you have to do is what? To bring in your files, which is read the file. So you have to make sure you are able to read the file. The file can come in any format, maybe as an Excel file, or as a CSV file, or as a JSON file. So you need to understand how to read the files and how to write it. Writing files, it just simply means you are changing one file to the other. You are changing it from one data source to the other. Let's say it's in CSV file. I want to change it to a JSON file. So what I'm doing there is writing the file, and that's writing files. You understand how to install and use common analytics libraries like NumPy, KP, Seaborn, Matplotlib, Pandas. Would even take few processes on machine learning, how to create predictions using Python. Now, in all of this, one thing can be at the back of my mind. After learning all of this, how do I get job? Although my boss have talked about the jobs area on how to get jobs, good jobs on as a data analyst. But these are the few ones I've highlighted. You can pick up jobs on LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, every day you see thousands of roles coming up on data analysis. Once you put in your search, or your job search, data analysis, you see a whole lot of roles coming up every day on LinkedIn. Aside that, the jobs have been uploaded. Once they know that you are good, once you are good and you have a good profile with a good portfolio to show that, yes, I've done this, I've done that, recruiter by themselves will be the one to be messaging you and be entering into your chat box to relate with you. The job, my job with Airtel, no, I didn't apply directly. It was a recruiter, an Airtel recruiter that messaged and connected with me, and I got the job. Twitter is another place where there are a lot of jobs on data analysis. It's keep updating. Even as far back as when there was COVID-19, I got a lot of gigs, short jobs through Twitter. Indeed.com is another place you can easily pick up jobs, either part-time or full-time. Then IOI, Worker, we have the work at startup.com. We have the Postgres. So it goes like that. Upwork and Fiverr as another platform where you can pick up short gigs, the part-time jobs, freelance jobs, where you just do and you earn your quick money. And the key thing around all of these places is you use the search button to bring your data. Now, another thing that might be at the back of your mind is this. Talking about all of this, I've talked about Python, I've talked about Power BI. I've talked about Excel. Sorry, I said Excel. Tableau. I've talked about SQL. Don't I need computer science background? Won't I need to learn how to program before I can use this? So the truth is this: you don't need to have any computer science background before you can come on this journey, because we take you with open hands into all the steps. We have had people with no background and they have successfully completed the training and pick up job. I have someone that got a job after his training. He was not even a computer science person. He didn't have any background in computer science, but through the training, he was able to get a standard skill set that got him a job in ExxonMobil. Not even Nigeria, but in Europe. So that's all about this slide. But before I round up here, I would want to really quickly show something on a short data visualization. I'll be using Python to show that. Just a quick one. So just like I said earlier, for us to use Python as a data analyst, most times we do our data analysis process on Anaconda, and this Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda is just Navigator is like a third app that allows us to do different analysis process. You can see this all of these are different tools. We have the data spell, we have the CMD, we have the Jupyter Lab, we have the notebook, we have PowerShell, we have the VS Code, Spider. These are all different tools. We have the Oracle. If I'm to work with an Oracle database, I can launch it directly from this and I will be able to access it. So let's use the Jupyter Notebook to see just a quick one on data analysis or data visualization rather in Python. All right, so I've loaded that. This is it. Now, one thing now is this. These are all the projects. So currently, these are all the projects that has been done in months, in years. You could see a year ago, 2 years ago. Let me open it new, a fresh one. So we'll be using the Python 3 Camel to really quickly show a quick data visualization process. Now this is how a camel looks like, and you can see we have different two tip. We have the file, we have the edit, we have view, insert, call, camel, widget, up. So the first thing that I want to show is I want to bring in a data. So the data that I want to explore is this. Is a data, and this is the background of the data. You have been given a data collection of data collection of a company wishing to process its customer records for business purposes. The existing system in place at the company only exploits to a CSV file. This is not in an appropriate format for analysis. You have been given the task of preparing the data for future analysis by your colleagues within the company, including presentation changes, filtering, delivering some new attributes, metrics for them. These data include attributes such as, so these are the attributes. But I won't be going into the data processing part, because that's a whole lot that we might not be able to complete today. But let's undo the data visualization part, which is what we have here. So for the data visualization, I would need two main tools, which is the pandas and Seaborn. Now, what is pandas? I've mentioned pandas earlier on, even while I was doing my presentation. You might be looking, what is pandas? Pandas is just a library. It's a library in Python. Python has so many libraries that allows us to do, it helps us to do different data analysis process. Pandas is one of them. So we use pandas in data analysis. We use pandas to analyze data. It is used to analyze data generally. When you are using pandas, it allows us to read our file. So if you are trying to read a file to work on it, you use pandas. Pandas bring you your file as a data frame. And data frame basically is just a simple example of a data in rows and columns. That's a data frame. Now this is it. It says our client wishes to understand the data. And this is something that, this is one of the activities that you'll be doing, basically as a data analyst. You will see clients that would want to see visualizations about the data, probably after doing some cleaning process. So yeah, your client wishes to understand the data they have on their customer a bit more by use of visualization, with use of pandas and Seaborn. So Seaborn is another data, another Python library rather, and it is used for visualization. So whenever you want to visualize the data out, we make use of the Seaborn. So you can see we use pandas and Seaborn read in the original CSV provided with the assessment. And these are the things that we need to bring out. Obtain the data series for salary and age, and calculate the following: the mean salary and the median age. So let's try and do this. So the first thing I have to do is what? Bring in my data. And for me to bring in my data, just like I've explained earlier on, I have to what? Import in my library. So import in the library. That's the first thing I'll be doing. And what's the library name? Pandas. So import pandas. I know you might not really understand all of this, but these are just the simple processes. All I'm trying to do here is to show you the beauty of data analysis. Once you register for the training, you get to understand all of this process, and you see that they are very easy to learn. And Python, as it is, even as it is a programming language, it's just a combination of English and mathematics. Python itself merges English and math, more of a balance between English and math. Once you understand your English words, you know the meaning to all the English words, and you understand your simple statistics, then it's easier to blend together. Then you will be able to gather that sufficient knowledge on doing any business standard data analysis on Python. So I'm importing pandas, but then as PD. When I say as PD, this PD means it's used as alias. I'm using it as alias. And when we say alias, alias is just an alternative name to something. We all at a particular time, when growing up, have alias, what we refer as to nickname. So this PD here is more of the nickname to pandas, alias, an alternative name. So we want to bring in the file, and once we do that, what else do? I have to import in my Seaborn. Seaborn will allow me to do the visualization. So Seaborn is another tool that is needed in data visualization on Python. So I'm bringing in my Seaborn as CNS. CNS here is also the alias to Seaborn. So once I do this, I go ahead to run it. So I can either click here, run, or I use Control Enter. Once I've completed the running, you can see it has perfected the running. Now the next thing for me to do is to read my data. So I have to bring in the data that I want to work on. Read in the data, or read the data. Now let me show you the data I want to bring in, which is data that was given to us. Okay, so this is the data set, ACS user data. It's the data that was given by this client that we should work on. So I want to bring in that. How do I bring it in? It's just for me going back to my Jupyter notebook. Then I will define a variable name. Variable name just simply just means the name I want to give to the file that I'm bringing in. That's the variable name. More of a container for that file I'm bringing in. So if I define the variable as data, So data will be equals to PD dot, because I'm reading it using pandas. That's why I say PD dot read. I want it to read the file. Now the file is a CSV file. The file is a CSV file. Command, you can see that from the properties. Command separated values, that's CSV, the CSV file. So I have to bring it into this. Now, since I have understand that it's a CSV file, I have to specify that. So I do underscore CSV. Now, if this was not CSV, I would have stated the data that it is, or the data format that it is, if it was not CSV. Let's assume this was Excel. This would have been Excel instead of CSV. But this is CSV, so I'll just bring it CSV, then I'll open it. Now, what is the data? The data that I'm bringing in is this. What I have to do now is to bring in the part, copy the part. How do I get the part of this data? Once I select it, I can just copy the part directly from there. So this is the part. So this data. Once I drop it in my code, you see it here, but it has to be in quotes because it's a string. It's a string format. It has to be in quotes. Now, one other thing is I have to state the name, the exact name of the data itself. And what is the data name? AC, that's the data that I'm bringing, AC underscore user underscore data. So I have to do that. ACW underscore user underscore data. Then remember, it's a CSV file, so we do dot CSV. And I want to read it, so I put R at the back of here. The R means read. If it's W, it means write. R means read, W means write. So this is the data now. Let's try and see the data. Data.head. Once I do data.head, it will enable me to view the data. Now this is the data. I've been able to read it. You might want to see, how am I sure that that's the data? Let me open this up on the Excel. You see that it's the same data that we have imported in using the Python. So look at the data here. We have address. Sorry, it's been long. I don't use Excel again. That's why you see that I didn't even activate it. So analysis are done beyond expression. So we have address street, we have address city, then address postcode. So if you go back here now and verify, you can see it's the same thing. So this is the data that we have. And currently, how many of you can I see? Just the first 4 rows. The first 4 rows, that's the only thing I can see. So I might want to see the old data. I might want to see the old data that I have in this. Like how many data do I have? How many rows and how many columns? So all I have to do is use what I call the shape method. So I will define my variable name, which is data. So once I do data.shape, what this will do is it would to show the total. It shows the total statistics of the data. Where we are going to is the analysis part. The visualization part rather. So I just want to show this on the quick one before we see the visualization and see how to work around it. And now you can see this. It has resumed out the total statistics. So this is saying that the data consists of what? A total of 1,000 rows and 23 columns. A total of 1,000 rows and what? 23 columns. So another thing we can do is for me to be able to see if any of these columns rather has empty cell. So I want to know if any of these columns, starting from the address street down to the last column, which is vehicle type. We want to check if it has empty. So I can do that by count, data.count. Now, before I continue, if you look at all of these things, you will see that I've been using All these words I've been using, they are all what? Our normal English word. And if you go ahead to check the meaning, the dictionary meaning of all of these words, you would agree with me that it's the same thing as the work that it is doing here. For example, is shape. For example, when you are checking the shape of something, what does it mean? It brings out the what? The complete overview of the thing. And that's exactly what it's doing there. Count. When you count something, what are you expecting? It lists out, let's say we have a list of 5 things in the house. Once you count it, you're able to ascertain what? The total numbers, and that's count. So if I do this run count, what this will do is it will bring out the count of each of the columns. You can see address streets down to the vehicle here. Now, one good thing about this count now is this. Through this count, I've been able to see the columns that are empty. And now do I see that? Look at this. A total of 1,000 columns and 23 rows. Sorry, 23 rows rather, and sorry, 1,000 rows and 23 columns. From the rows now, the ones that match directly, 1,000, 1,000, it shows that there is no empty cell. Starting from address down to distance, commuted to work. But for employer company, what do you see here? 754. So we can easily see here that we have a total of 246 data missing. 246 missing value. So in something like this now, when we get to a proper data analysis project, we'll have to do different cleaning. Either we remove this NA value or we do transformation on it. We transform it and see how to go about it. You can see what we have here, dependent. Under dependent, there is also missing value. We have 981. So we have 19. A total of 19 dependent missing. And that's all. Yeah. Now let's try and see another thing. Now I've been able to show counts here, but another thing I can easily see is I can use describe. Describe here will do the same thing that it should do almost the same thing that the count is doing. You can see. But one difference between the describe now is describe will show a more breakdown of the statistics. You see, we have the mean. We have the mean for the columns. Each of the columns, we have the mean, we have standard deviation, we have mean, we have 25 percentile, we have 50 percentile, we have 75 percentile, we have the max. These are the things that we normally use to solve business problem. These are the values that would lead us into a proper solution to any data and any business problem rather. I can also get to use another method to check this same one that I have, this count. You see, from this one, we were able to see the missing value by just subtracting the total count minus what we have here. We see the number of missing value. But another way I can do this is by just saying data dot is none. It's not means it would check for the missing data in this. It's not any. So if there's any missing data, what this will check will be what? It will check all the missing data and return them as a Boolean data set. When we say Boolean data set, we are talking about a data that comes as what? True or false. So this will check for any missing cell. Let me run this so you see. Now look at it. Compare it to what we had before. It's not the same thing. For where you have false, it means there is no missing data. And where there is true, that means what? There is an existing missing data. And you can see it's the same thing like what we had before now. For we have missing data in what? Just employer and what? Dependent. And every other one is not missing. Now, let's go back to why am I doing all of this? The only reason why I'm doing this is for me to really see how the data works, how the data looks. Because the first question that we asked to solve here is what? To find the mean salary. Now, you remember in our normal mathematics or statistics knowledge, we know that what? In order to find mean, is just by doing what? The sum of what? The observations all over what? Number of observations. So, peradventure, if there is a missing data in our, since we have to find the mean salary. So if there was a missing data in this salary, for example, it would have been an ideal thing for us to drop that missing data before we go ahead to do the mean. Because once a missing data is part of a data or a part of the column, it will not be, we cannot do the mean, cannot find the mean. For us to do the mean, it should be what? Adding all the, summing up the observations and dividing it by the numbers of observations. Once there's a missing data in the observation, we'll have to drop it before we can get the mean. And that's the reason why we had to do all of this before going to the visualization. Now that I've confirmed that there's no missing data in the salary, I can go ahead to get my mean out. So in order to get my mean, what do I do first? I would have to isolate, to call out that particular data that I need to work on, which is the what? Salary. That's what is required of us for us to get the mean salary. So for me to bring that, all I do here is data. I can do it this way. Data, then I put it in a data frame. Since it's a data series. Then what is the column name? Salary, yearly salary in pounds. So I have yearly salary, GBP. You could see, once I call this out, what do you have? It brings out the yearly salary. We can easily see just the yearly salary. So for this now, all we then go ahead to do is what? To create the mean. So in order to create mean, one good thing about working at doing analysis on pandas, it comes with different methods. The library itself has different methods in order to do things. So for me to get the mean, all I have to do is use the mean method. Now let's try and use the mean method to create out the mean. So I want to print it out. I can just define it. The mean salary is so let me use the F string to bring this in. F string, that's format style. That's F string. So salary. But then in order for me to now do this, or I can just, instead of going more complex, let me just solve it directly. So what we do here is this. Since it's just so I'll do data. That's what I have here before now. Yeah. Yearly salary. GBP dot mean. So this is the mean. This is the mean. I can easily do it this way if I need to give it a name now. So I can do the mean salary is You see now, I've given a definition. So the mean salary is this. That's one. That's the first thing that we ask to find. Another thing here is mean age. How do we go at median age rather? So you know what median is? Median is just the middle value of a set of numbers. Just like I said earlier, Python itself combines what? English and statistics. All of these are statistics. And data analysis itself is what? The bringing the idea of statistics into the business space in order to use it to solve a business problem. So for me to find the median, which is the age, the first thing I have to do is what? Call out the age data. So I do data, put in a data frame. Now the age here is, let's see how it's written. Age, then in brackets, yes. So I'll put that, age, then years. And we run this. And look at what we have. This is data for the age. Now we can easily use this same method to get the median. So for me to get the median value or the median age, which is what is required by the client, just do print. So print is one syntax here. It's the same thing as our printing. The idea of printing when you go out to print something, so in printing from your printer, it's the same thing. Once you print, you are expecting an output. So that's just what it is. The median age is, now define that as data age and in years dot median. That's it. It's looking easier, right? It's very easy. You don't do much things. All of these are they are almost, they work the same way. Let's see. So I might, let me see, is there a mistake somewhere? Age, okay. So I didn't put this in quote. That's why I'm getting the error message. Quote. This should be in braces, yeah. So it works fine now. Good. So you can see now the median age is 54, which is the second thing that we have to find. And one thing you should have noticed here is this: it's not that hard. It's not something that is hard. It's not something that is very hard to learn. It's just a process. Once you understand the method and you know how to implement them, it's very easy to know. Very straightforward. Let's try and let's do this number 2, then we stop there, so we don't keep us too long in the meeting. So this question 2 says, perform univariate plot of the following data attributes. Perform univariate plot of this data attribute. Now we have both univariate and multivariate. When we talk about univariate, we are talking about a plot that deals with only one variable, only one dependent variable. That's univariate. When we are talking about univariate plot, we are talking about plots relating to just a single variable. Then we have the multivariate plot. For the multivariate plot, we are considering one variable against the other. That's multivariate. Now look at it. It said we should do what? Age, calculating how many beans will be required of a bean width of 5. Now what is a bean? If you are familiar with your histogram and bean come together. So histogram, bean and histogram, you see what I have here. Bean and histogram. Let's just see an image. Good. So right here, this is an histogram. And each of these bar, so this is an histogram. Each of these bars are called the bins. The bars are the bins. The histogram, this is histogram, and the bars are the bins. Now it says the bin, for a bin width of 5. When we say width of 5, it means the what? The distance between one bin to the other. For example, now in this image I have here, what is the width? The width is 2. Can you see? 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. So the width here is 2. But what is required, according to the client, is what? A width of 5. Bin width of 5. So we have to calculate the bin out, then go ahead to now create a univariate chart on that. So for me to do that, it's related to statistics. So the first thing I have to do is bring in another library, which is Matplotlib. Don't worry, you get to understand all of these once you join the training. It's as easy as ABC, trust me. So I'm bringing in Seaborn as well. Seaborn is for data visualization, XNS. Now, what else? I need to what? Get my bin out. And how do I get bins? Bins basically is just like you have seen. It's the difference between one bar to the other. So the easy way to create a bin is by doing maximum value minus the minimum value. The maximum value of data minus the minimum value of data. Then you divide it by the bin width. You divide it by the bin width. Divide by the bin width. Now in this case, what is the bin width? 5. That is what the client has specified. So the first thing is to now do what? Get out, because it says it's related to age. So that means we have to find the maximum age and what? Minimum age before we can get our bin. So how do we find the maximum age? Maximum age here just be equals to so before then, let me create a new column, small age. So let the age be the small age be the age column, instead of having to be writing it every time. So let the age represent this. All right, good. So we then go ahead to do our maximum. So I can just do age dot max. So this will find the maximum, and I can find the minimum age by doing age dot min. That's all. Then now is to what? To calculate the bins, which is what we want to find, the bins value. So in order to get the bins value, bins will be equals to, so I can put this here, max age minus min age divided by 5, which is the width. Then we go ahead to round up the bin. That should bring out the numbers of bin using the round method. So once I run this, so this is the total bin that we have, 15. Now we can then go ahead to do bring out the plot, which is a univariate plot for this process. Now, to bringing out the univariate plot, I'll be using the Seaborn, which is what is needed for any visualization case when working on when doing data visualization on Python. You have to use your Seaborn. It's one of them. So age plot, which is what I need, so I can define this as age plot equals to then Seaborn, that's SNS. Just the same way we use PDF, the same way we use pandas to call the data frame. So this one is Seaborn. I just do Seaborn dot this plot, and I put this data. What is the data? Age. That's the data I want to work with. Age, which is the column. Yes. That's not all. We've been told to use the bin, and that's why we calculated the bin before going forward. Now I've done that. This would bring out the plot. Let me just print it out. You see what we have. It will bring out a univariate plot that has what the age. It will come out as a histogram rather. Look at it. What is the width size? 5. From here to here is 5. From here to here is 5, making 30. You can see the width is 5, and the what? The chart is out. Now this is one thing. Now from this we will be able to see the count of age respectively. So it's easy for us to see now the distribution of the age value. From this we can conclude that people we have more people or more customers from the age of what? More customers at the age of 60. And our lowest customers comes from the age of what? 70. That's one good thing about visualization. So in this case now, it will be easy for us to know our target market, our audience. Since we have been able to come up with a visual that shows the distribution of the age. Let's look at the second one, which is the dependent fixing data error with CBORD. Let's do C. No, it's fine. Let's do B2. So we do B and C, then we stop. So this second question says dependent fixing data error with CBORD itself. So let's look at it. It's also a univariate. So how do we go about this? The same way. Dependent, which is I want to name this as dependent plot, which is the plot that we want to create. So I'm still using the CBORD, that's SNS dot this plot dot this plot. So I do data, which is data frame, is equal to data, comma, then I have to now specify the variable, which is what? Dependent. Or dependent rather. Dependent. So that's all. Once I go ahead to print this, you will see what to have. Print type dependent. Dependent plot. This is dependence. Let me change this to dependence. It's taking time to come up, but it will still come up at the end of the day. The reason why it's not coming up real quick like the other one is probably the farm might be larger, so the running time might be longer, but it should still come out. Let's do the last one, which is age of default bin conditional. Or no. Let's just speak. Let's pick just one of the multivariate plots to see how that works. Let's pick just one example from the multivariate. So this is still wasting time. Why is it not running? It might. Let me refresh my kernel and see if it will come up immediately. So refreshing my kernel will refresh and run everything from the beginning down to refresh and run all. So let me just see if this works. If not, then I'll just do the last one. But it might still. The thing is, it will still come up later in the, like probably after the class. But then it will come up. If since the code is active, if the code is wrong, it should have returned as an error. So let's do the multivariate before we let's just do one multivariate before we end this section. So perform multivariate plot with the following data attribute. Just like I explained earlier, when you are doing univariate, it's a plot against oneself. But when it's multivariate, it's one variable against the other. You can see the questions there. Commuted distance against salary, age age against salary, age against salary conditioned by dependent. So let's try and write that. This is still not okay. So I would want to put that in a scatter plot. So let's say this is a scatter plot. That's for let's see the one we do. So let's try and do age against salary. Hopefully it will come up immediately. So the reason I'm using scatter plot is this: the age distribution against the salary. We can easily check the view. If you are not sure, so I can just do age theta age is in years and the salary yearly salary, I think yearly salary, which is in GBP. Oh no, let's see. It didn't bring out everything. Let me be sure that the names are correct. Yearly salary GBP. All right. So let's bring out. Let's see. Okay. So let me see where that issue is again. Where the error message is coming from. Yearly salary. It should work. Let me see if I can still call out this below. Okay. So this is out. This is not working. And don't know why. Let me put it. Should yearly salary. Still put it in data frame. All right. I'm still having an error. If you are typing that range keyword, I'm not sure what this is, why it's showing an error though, but it's fine. Let me just leave this. Let me go back to the visualization. If this is not showing, but this should work. So age against salary, that's the multivariate that we need to do. Don't want to keep us too long. Uh, so scatter plot, that's what I want to use. I'm still using my CNS. It's a scatter plot. So now I define the plot I want to use, scatter plot. Then what is the data? The data name here is data. That's the variable name that I brought in. That's how I'm using data as well. That's the data name. Then what else do I do? I will have to specify my x. I'll specify my x and my y. That's the dependent variable and the independent variable. So now that we have agreed that what we are doing is the age against salary. So this is the age. The age can be the dependent variable, which is x. So the age will be the independent variable. Then the salary will be the dependent. Yearly salary GBP. Only this. So let's print this out. Print I print, sorry. So print type scatter plot. Let me rename this to plot. So this works well. So this, the reason why this might not be run, let me see. If I change this to data set, let's see if it will come up immediately. So let's try and change this to data set. This to data set. Probably because I'm using data for the two, that's why it's not coming up. So I'm renaming my variable name data set. Data set. And then I'll rename this as well to data set since I changed the variable name. So I'll change this also to data set. Let's see the last visualization. Once it becomes all fine, we just stop there, and you can ask any follow-up question based on what we have discussed so far. So this data set as well. And this also now becomes data set. This also now becomes data set. What I've done is I've implemented the chain. Now let me try and, based on what I've done here, let me put this data is what the data set. Let's see if it will have a result. A quick one. Although it might not be the reason. Sometimes it takes time to upload it if it's a big entry. So that's just the reason. It will come back later itself, but it's worked perfectly. That's why you could see that it's run. If there is an issue, it will return back as an error. So this is what would be stopping tonight on a quick one on data analysis. If you have follow-up questions on the training and all, I'm available with, as well as my boss, Mr. Key. Thank you everyone
Yeah,
for listening.
thanks. Thanks,
Yeah.
Samuel. If you've got any question, please kindly raise your hand and I'll be calling you to ask your question, or you can as well drop your question. You can as well drop your question in the chat box. I will be picking them up. So if anyone has got any question, please don't be shy to raise your hand and I'll call you to ask your question. So this will be starting on the 23rd of March, which is next week Thursday. So and the discount is available until Wednesday next week as well. So as I said, after 40% discount, you can pay the first payment is only half payment that is required to start, and the other half can be paid after 6 to 8 weeks of starting on the training. Yep. So Joseph, you've got a question, you can unmute. Joseph, you raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but the network is shaky. Your network is a bit shaky.
Oh, okay. So I want to ask, how can I see the full class?
How can you do what?
In the scheme of what are we learning?
What are you learning? Your network is really bad.
Which course? Like, okay. Yes, the scheme. What are we learning the scheme?
All right. Samuel, do you want to take that? I think is probably might be referring to
Mr.
the
Joseph,
outline.
I think okay. So what we are focusing on is data, all the data analysis aspects, starting from the cleaning, data explorations, data cleaning, the data analysis itself, database management, data visualization, data exploration, data scraping from the web. And all of these processes, based on the tools that we'll be using, we are using the Power BI to work on all the data analysis aspects, from bringing in your data down to transformation, creating your models, down to your visualization and creating your reports. Then we move to Tableau. Tableau also, on Tableau we'll be learning how to use Tableau efficiently in performing all the data visualization, data analysis processes. Then SQL is another thing. You, after the training, you'd have sufficient skill on how to work on a proper business database. You would have understand how to do data exploration, data visualization, and all on SQL. Then same thing on Python. You could see from the short show that the short analysis rather of visualization that I did on Python. It was an analysis that was trying to solve a data visualization problem that was raised by a client. So at the end of the training, in general, you have understand how to use the four tool, which is Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and Python. But we can actually send you the course outline once you are ready to subscribe. There's a breakdown. There's a breakdown, a course outline breakdown rather.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Samuel.
think it's out.
Yeah. If you have any other question, please kindly raise your hand or put your question in the chat. When does the 40% elapse? That will be next week, Wednesday. The training is starting on Thursday next week. So you can still take advantage of the discount up up until Wednesday next week. You can still, and as I said, only half of that is due to start. Account number is on your screen right now. And if you have any questions or you want to message me afterwards, you can copy this WhatsApp number down as well and ask your question. What is the amount of half? Let me paste it. I think I just pasted the cost in Naira. So this is the cost in Naira. The cost in Naira is 510K. After the 40% discount, that will be 306K. So if my math is right, half of that will be 153. All right. Dr. Lucky, you can unmute and talk. Dr. Lucky, you can unmute.
Yes. Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you. I want to find out when the next batch will take off, because I'm not prepared for this 24th session.
Yeah, that will be another cohort will be a month. So if the next one is starting from the 24th, so another cohort will be like end of April.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Isaac, you are not raising hand, but you can unmute and talk. Isaac Okonla, you can unmute and talk, but you are not raising your hand, though. But you can unmute your mic and talk. Isaac.
I've been raising my hand using emoji. I've done that twice.
Oh, I don't see emoji. It's if you check the chat now, I'm only looking at the hands. People will raise their hand up on the chat. All right, no worries. Please
Okay.
go on with your question.
Yes, this is my question. It's also like an observation. I believe a training like this should start from the easiest part. So, and from what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing core programming concepts. So I want to know, is this the easiest part of this training, or just a bite to show us what we are going to be doing?
No,
If
it's
this
just
is the easiest,
it's just
I'm scared.
no. It's just a bite on Mr. Isaac.
Okay.
One thing is this: we are starting from the list. Before you can do all these things that I'm using, you'd have understand the data types. You'd have understand the data types starting from integers to string to list to. Do you get it now? I just showed what a data analyst can do in a short time. That's why I did that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Isaac. Sir Wale, you raise your hand. If you can unmute, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. My own issue is this, because I think I once registered with Career Era on data analysis, and I have to drop out after the second class. They brought in Python, and I think that's where they started from. So I was a bit confused, because my own background has been a financial, just an accountant. So I wanted to I'm in UK, let me just switch my career, because I know this skill is in high demand. And since then, I've not been able to go back, although I did a business analysis, but I've not really done the practical aspect of it. I got my certification, but once I don't really have any experience, I'm just waiting for the person that taught me business analysis to include me in their project, whatever. So I think one of my problems there with the Carrera is that these guys are Indian, and I could barely hear what they were saying. So I would like this class, which I'm so much interested in. we should just take course on a very slow pace so that I can really understand all this stuff. Yeah, presently I use SQL with Microsoft Access in my place of work, because I'm in charge of planning and budgeting, and I really want to switch to really be a full data analyst. So I just want to say that I want the class to just take us step by step so that we can come to the same page with you guys. And if it's possible to mentor, I think I'm open for that too.
Yeah.
Maybe after the class, I would love to be mentored. So,
All right. Mr. Olov, because we want to cover much within the short period that we have tonight, that is why it looks as if Samuel is going at 100 miles per hour. Right? It's because we have a limited time and we want to cover certain things just to show you what you can do with certain tools. But on the training itself, it is not possible to be going at that pace because many people joining the training, they don't even have a clue or knowledge or background in data analysis. So they want someone to hold them hand by hand, walk the walk with them, and take them on the journey. So on the training itself, you can be rest assured that you won't be going at 100 miles per hour. It's going to start with you, I'm sure, probably like 5 miles per hour to 10 miles, but you won't be going at, And the good thing as well is you have access even after the class. Probably you are going through the recording, trying to replicate or trying to do your task, and you are stuck. You have the support system there that you can reach out to and solve the issues together and get back on track. And also, as I mentioned earlier on during my own presentation, what is involved in the package is actually the practical training, the project, the mentorship, the support, interview preparation. You get the CPD accredited certificate and sorry, excuse me, and also the what's it called? Referencing UK reference for the duration that you are with us. Those are what is covered. So we form a community, we form as in like a family, not that after the 4-month program we say bye-bye to you. There's a platform that you can join that we communicate with same jobs on that platform and all of that. So we just don't leave you hanging. The joy of it all is to get the job at the end of the day, and we try as much as possible to support you on that journey to achieve what you want to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Any other question? I don't see any questioning. If you have any, before we round it up, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll be more than happy to take them. Again, if you probably after the session, you want to enroll or ask me any question, please note down the number on your screen and you can send me a message on that number. Again, the 40% is valid till next week, Wednesday, and the program kickoff on Thursday, which is the 24th. So any final question from anyone? A comment, please. Isaac, you can unmute and talk.
This is my comment. Looking at the details we have at the moment concerning the training and how much you guys want to charge, it is obvious that it's not just about the money for you.
No.
Yeah, it is very obvious. But I want to,
okay, go on.
I just want to chip in this. from what we have learned tonight, the things I've seen in the concepts that have been used, I can see stuff that ordinarily takes time to learn for novice. Like I can see object-oriented programming, I can see a lot of syntax taking place, I can see variable declaration and all those things. And to me, maybe because of my own low level of knowledge about this stuff, these things takes time. And if we are going to be having 4 hours per week in just 4 months, and by the end of the 4 months, we would have really achieved. I really don't know. It is going to take a lot of reviewing I'm not teaching you what you are doing. I know you are up to the task. That's why you are here. But I'm just being skeptical about the likelihood of achieving all these things
All right.
within this very short period of time.
Can I shock you? Let me shock you. Let me give
Okay.
you my own personal.
I
Probably you
would-
didn't start the session with 1 second. Sorry, Samuel. Probably you didn't start the session with us. When I was introducing myself, I tried to share my little experience as well. My background was in accounting. I transitioned as well, and I embarked on a 3-month journey. A 3-month journey that there was no support. After the class, you are left on your own. But because I was desperate for a change, I had to do most of the work myself. And my own transitioning involves coding in programming language like C#, from non-technical at all to a technical background, and I was able to achieve it. Not only I was able to achieve it, now it's a story because I train people to become like me as well in 3 months. And this is the shocking part now. My own training is for 3 months and it's only once a week. It's only on Saturday. I told you about one of my students that got a 62,000K offer started February this year. And also during my own presentation, I told you this is a 50-50 journey. This is not going to be a 4 hours journey for you every week. No. This is going to be an everyday journey for you for the next 4 months because it is the input, it is your time that you commit into the process that you're going to take out of it. I understand where the skepticism or whatever is coming from. That can you actually achieve everything in the 4 months in the 4 months duration? Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yes, you can. And this is how. You don't know something. You know nothing about this line that you want to embark on, this journey you want to embark on.
Yes.
And at the end of this 4 months, I said it as well. And I'm not shy to say it again. At the end of the 4 months, you are not looking for job as an intern, as a starter. No, you are compete as an experience with people who have been doing it in the industry for 2, 3, or 4 years. But this can only happen if you do your own bit. And doing your own bit is by taking it every single day, dedicating a certain hours to the process every single day. Whether it's a 2 hours that you meant to watch Nollywood or Bollywood that you want to dedicate to data analysis, but that you need to dedicate time to it because it is those times that you dedicate into the process on a daily basis that will add up for you at the end of that 4 months, and you find yourself in a very comfortable position to compete with people. If it is not possible, people won't be getting jobs at ExxonMobil. What was it called? No. People doubt again. One of my students just got a job again. Was it yesterday? A Scrum Master role. That was another 3-month course as well. And he got an offer. She got a 63K offer as well as a Scrum Master permanent role. She's still on the project, but she had to leave the project because her aim, her objective has already been fulfilled. She already got the job. So why is she on my project? No, so she left. So, but again, I said, people will, you wish that, oh, had they been, I played that lottery, probably I could have won the 40 billion, but you never played. People doubt. See, I've been living in the UK for the last 20 years. Before I finally, when I came, I said it, or when I gave my presentation, when I see people riding good cars, and I'll think, oh, this one is doing Yahoo, that one is doing 419. But no, we only see, information is power. Many people would doubt that, oh, you need to go back to school for 2-3 years to study. No, these are the reason why it is called like a master class, a boot camp. For you don't need to go back. And it is how your mind is configured. If you believe you can do it, many people are doing it and getting jobs. I am a testament to that as well, even with no support. So you have the support. The only task that has been given to you to do is for you to dedicate your time into the process every single day, and don't limit your learning to only Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then you'll be surprised where or the position that you find yourself at the end of that 4 months.
Oh, I should have asked this. The job I do now is a blend of day shift and night shifts. Some of these Tuesdays or Thursdays will come at a time when I will not be able to be here. Is there a way?
Every session is recorded.
All right, thank you.
Every
Perfect.
session is recorded, because you need the recording to replicate what has been done in class, or if you are given any task. So
Yeah,
so every session is recorded, so you have access to the recording as well.
all right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Isaac. Please, what is the cost of the program? Excuse me. The cost of the program is $599, but you have 40% discount till next week, Wednesday. The duration is 4 months, twice a week for 4 months. That will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and for 4 months. And after that 40%, it's only half of that is due to start, and the other half can be paid within 6 weeks. Sorry, I can't say your name. I hope I've answered that question. Afarian. I hope I've answered that question. Please, any final question from anyone before we call it a day? Thank you so much for your time. Any final question from anyone? Blessing our good evening, man. You can unmute and talk, yeah.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
One, what we've been taught is quite intense, and I want to know if when we have questions, we need clarity. How do we do that? Because this is you can't just stop.
You belong to a group. There will be a group, and you have access to the facilitator. Even after the class, if you are trying it out yourself and you are stuck, see, do you actually know when learning occurs? Learning occurs when you are stuck on a particular task. If everything is rosy, if you are doing everything, you are not really learning much. But I believe the actual learning occurs when you are stuck. When you've tried all means, you don't know how to do it, you've you've tried everything you could, but you now seek for help. And the process of helping you, that is when learning actually occurs. And if such happens next time, you know how to go about solving that issue. And also, not only the learning that occurs, it will serve as your story that you can tell when you start getting interviews from recruiters as well. So it is not, see, if this is what I tell my people, especially my own students, if I can transition from an accounting background all I know then was debit and credit. You know, my first degree, I even have masters in accounting. For me to transition from that background to core technical, whereby I need to write codes in programming language like C#, you know, to automate a website. You know, anybody with great determination can achieve anything. There is nothing too difficult for anyone to achieve, but you have to be determined. If not, if you are not determined on any journey you want to embark on, you get to the middle of that journey and you know what, let me just go back to my daily job. I can't do this thing. I give up, you know. But if you are determined and with a great support, then you can conquer anything, I tell you, you know, and we are giving you the support. So what more do you want to ask for? We walk the walk with you as well. So
All right, thank you.
you're welcome. Any final question from anyone?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, Awale.
Yes, I was asking the other time if I can pay through credit card.
Yes, you should be able. Please apology for my cough. Yes, you can pay. We have a Stripe account which you can pay. A link can be sent to you, and I'm quite sure you can pay with. It's like you shopping online. You know,
Yeah.
you can pay with debit or credit card with that as well.
Okay, so let me have the link. I'll do that.
No problem.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Emma.
I'm sorry I went for a late night shift and I'm just returning and I just joined. Please, when is this particular program? When is it starting?
It's starting next. Okay, go on.
And when is it? How long is it for duration, please?
It's starting next week, Thursday, the 24th, and it's for 4 months. It's twice a week for 4 months. And that will be Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. For 4 months. And 4 industry standard tools will be used. I think you'll be starting with Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and Python. Those are the 4 core tools used in the industry as a data analyst. And the cost is $599. There's a 40% discount till next week, Wednesday. So after the 40% discount, also it is only half of that is due to start, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after starting on the training.
Please, I have a problem, and that's why I'm skeptical with many of these talks.
All right.
I'm sure this is not the first one. This is not the first I'll be hearing about business analysis training.
Data analysis.
Yes, and okay, this is data analysis, not business analysis.
Yeah, data.
Okay, fine. Do the two of them relate?
No, they do entirely different stuff. Business analysis concentrate on requirement gathering, while data concentrate on data.
Okay, please, next is my question is this. When I hear these talks, I want to know what is the rate that you will say, how would you say, how the assurance of securing a job afterwards, especially here in the UK, and the basic requirements you see recruiters asking for. Are we sure to get this within this stipulated time and not be on the side of okay, is a trial and error stuff. Okay, let's just try and see. The knowledge is good, but it will not be so good when after so long you don't even secure one. You know what I'm saying, being in the UK. And so with just what's the assurance? This is my own question, please.
All right, Mr. Emma, not to sweet quote anything to you because I want to sell you product. Probably I'm not a marketer, but this is what I'll tell you. And this is me telling you as one brother to another, right? When it comes to securing job, You know,
Yeah.
there are lots of factors attached to that, which is out of our control. And what do I mean by that? When it comes to securing a job, it is God that can assure you anything, not man. If any training company tells you that they assure you they will do this, they will do that for you, they are only marketing their job. But this is what we can guarantee you, that we are going to walk the walk with you. We are going to support you, and you are going to get enough knowledge that will put you out there at the forefront and be getting interviews. With your knowledge and God's favor, nothing is impossible. It is not by man. You need to get that right.
Mm.
It is by favor and your hard work. Those two works hand in hand together.
Okay.
But they said God can only help those who help themselves.
Mhm.
You helping yourself is you acquiring the knowledge. Then God can perfect every other thing. From my own table, that is what I'm going to tell you. And you know, we equip you with the necessary things that is needed. And this is what you will not be the first that will ask me this question. It is only God that can guarantee anything in life, not man. It is beyond man's capacity to guarantee anything. But I can assure you that when it comes to getting the best value for your money, you are going to get it. And also remember that there's a saying that if you are not in it, you have to be in it to win it. Lottery. You know, you cannot sit at the fence and be wishing that had it been I've done that training, probably I could have gotten that job. No. You know? And also, I tell my students, see, this thing is all determination, hard work, and God's favor. If me with no technical knowledge can transition from accounting to the field I'm in now, then anybody with hard work, determination, and God's favor can do the same thing as well. Bear in mind, the road might not be easy. You might get few no's along the way. You might get knocked down along the way. I gave an example of my student who finished September last year, started applying for jobs from October last year, getting several no's until he has a breakthrough this January and started job in February, and the offer was 62,000 after benefit was 75,000 per year. Had it been he gave up after the few no's when he started applying for jobs, then it won't be in this situation to get a 75,000 offer February this year. I'm not saying the road will be easy. No, I never said that. You'll get few no's, you'll get knocked down. But as long as you're getting back on your feet, I can assure you, you surely land the road. But for those that give up along the way, then there will be no testimony.
Okay. Secondly, lastly, or let me just say lastly, are you in this field now of data analytics as a worker, or you just forced now to be a trainer?
I'm the founder, I'm the owner of Learn with Pride. I facilitate my own special area is automation. So I facilitate a training called software automation training. It is Samuel who is the expert in this industry that will be taking you on the journey if you are to come on board, of course. So it is not me that will be taking you, but I'm the owner of this company.
Yes. What I mean is, as of the moment, you have fully faced the company, not you are not working for anybody now. Okay. So that's clear enough.
All right.
All right.
You can, if you
I
want to
think
know how valid, you can Google my name on Google. You'll know more about me if you Google my name. So for you to be rest assured.
okay. Twice a week, 8 to 10 p.m.
Yes, yes.
And 40% is almost 240. So if
That will be 360 after the 40%.
360
And
pounds.
half of that is required to start, while the other half can be paid
Yeah.
within 6 weeks.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for the clarification.
You're welcome, Emma. You're really welcome. Any other question? Last question from anyone? Any last question from? How do we pay and register? Please copy this number down on your screen. The payment details is here, but for those that want to pay with credit card, you might need to WhatsApp me separately to send you a link for that. But if you are paying with a bank UK account or Nigerian account, that is the number on your screen. But if not, you can take a screenshot as well. If not, just message me. send me a message on this WhatsApp number, and I will forward you the account details again if you want to, or chat me up. That is to Bookie. How do I get access to the recorded classes in case I miss it? You belong to a group now, so the recorded session will be sent to everyone after the session. Mode of payment, you can pay by debit or credit card. You can pay by bank transfer, and it's only half that is required to pay to start. I hope I've answered everyone. Thank you everyone for your time. Really appreciate, and I hope we've all been able to learn one or two things tonight. So are you in London? Yes. Emma, yes.
Okay.
So thank you everyone for your time. As I said, Emma, you can, if you are kind of skeptical, you can Google my name. My name is Akin Oladeji.
It's not that everybody has some level of doubt. You just have.
Yeah, I understand you. That is why I said you can Google my name and probably read probably anything that comes up on Google about me. So, and also you can visit our what's it called? Our Instagram page at Learn with Pride as well. To see stories of some people. I think we post our success stories every Thursdays. But if you go through our page, you surely see some. Even the one that just got a role, the one I talked about that got a role, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? If you go to our page, you see it on our page as well at Learn with Pride. So thank you everyone for your time. Really, really appreciate it. I hope we've been able to, get something out of the session tonight, and hopefully to see you on the journey and walk the walk together. But till then, thanks for your time. You can reach out to me on the WhatsApp number. And so have a good night, everyone. Thanks, and thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone.